No, I'm not dead. Haven't done a video in over a month. Detroit Lions probably are though. They're like the Toronto Maple Leafs. Never win. Although the Leafs got a really good team. Best team I've seen since 1993. I'm excited about this year watching them. Video number 130. I think this is the last video. I hope. I've been putting this bike off. I just can't finish it. I can't get at it. My wife and I went away camping for this last week. It's supposed to rain for the next 9 or the next 10 days. But I'm going to finish it today. I'm going to get it running today. That's my goal. Fix the wiring and get some fuel in it, get the tank on it, and get her together. I think it's going to take me 3 to 4 hours. Get the wiring harness properly fastened in there and in the proper casing. Okay, let's get at it. Okay. I got all the wires run to where they got to go, and I didn't put them through a harness. And I'm just checking here. I wasn't thinking. There's supposed to be rubber grommet go through this hole here, but the rubber grommet, this one, I'm sure I tried it before. It doesn't fit in that hole. This is the same one that goes on a headlight on the bottom, and when they sell it, they said, oh, it's a frame, the frame grommet and the headlight grommet. No, this doesn't fit in the headlight grommets, or in the frame grommet. It's way too big there. But this is nice smooth edges, and I'm going to put it into a harness like this, and that won't chafe or hurt the wires at all. So I've got to unplug them all here, feed it through, and then this one here runs the running light and tail light, and I didn't put a connector in it, so I've got to cut it and put a connector in that one, and put a proper connector on this one. I just kind of got it all together, tested everything, made sure everything was working right. There's a bunch of little things that I'm not not real happy with the way it turned out, and I'm gonna have to upgrade them. The tail light, that LED bulb, the difference from the running light to the brake light, like I can barely tell by the visible eye that it's changing. Maybe at nighttime you can see it a little bit better. So what I'd like to do is put a resistor on the running light, so that it's a little bit duller. So when you apply the brake light, you can see the brake light coming on. So I may screw around with that a little bit and try to put a resistor, inline resistor in here, drop that voltage down, get a little bit duller light. And I've got a box of resistors around here. I can play around with that. Still, I haven't put any oil in this bike, like I've drained it out, cleaned it out, because I'm still going to have that sumping problem. But I will put oil in it today and get it running. And then over the winter time, I'll decide if I'm going to put a check valve in here or a shut-off valve on that oil line. It's a pain to drain that big bolt on the bottom there. But you got to be careful when you put a shut-off valve on that feed line. Is if you ever forget to turn it on, you're going to blow the engine up. Well, it doesn't really matter. All of these are all 10 amp fuses in my my little breaker panel box I made here. So I'm just going to pull them off because it doesn't matter where they go. And I've got them labeled. I hear a motorcycle pulling in. Might be my neighbor. Okay. This one H horn. This one is front brake. So I got the front brake and the running light here. Okay, let me screw around with this for a minute. Little dog's in here, helping out. That's for the headlight. Stick that down. This one's for the ignition. Okay. This one goes to the horn. That's the horn there. Put it on this side. I need another 10-amp fuse. I need more fuses. This one is to the running lights. It's in here somewhere, I'm hoping. Right there. Power for the running lights. That. Fix this connection. Come on, rerun. Come on here. You get that dog in here. Okay, let me get that dog. I'm using my camera to check the lights, and I got a little bit of an issue here, not much. Anyway, we'll turn the, okay. am I hearing? Oh. I'm hearing the ignition. I'm hearing the ignition through the tailpipes. It's like a megaphone. Let me disconnect that coil. There we go. So that's the first nut should be my running light, but my headlight's coming on, and then all the way over should be my headlight and running light, and my headlight's going off. So I got those two wires reversed there, and my brake light. You can see with that LED light, very little difference. Like I'd like to put an inline resistor in the running light, so when I pull a brake light, at least you can see a difference. Either that or go back to a stock bulb. Okay, so I got to reverse. That. That's just bizarre that I'm hearing the ignition, that boiler ignition buzzing like that. I don't remember hearing that before. I hope I got that wired properly. Should be. It's the same way as before. Okay, shut this off. Key off there. Let me reverse those two wires. Okay. Ignition on. Running lights, no headlight. Running lights, headlight. High beam. Gonna turn this up for a horn. Oh, got no fuse in the horn one. Okay, shut that off. I'm short one fuse. I need one more fuse. Okay. It's just about ready to go. I'm just going to make sure I got spark. Because I don't remember hearing that buzzing when I turned the boiler ignition on, but maybe it was there. Like I'm trying to charge the battery too. I think my battery's done. My battery's 3 years old now, and left it all summer, and I'm trying to get a charge into it. Okay. These greenhouses are all over the countryside over here. Southwestern Ontario, all over on that side of the road. And they're all full of marijuana. Tons of them. You can smell it for miles. Some of them you can actually see the plants right through the, that one over there you can. See the bushes? Thanks to Justin Trudeau, we've got marijuana everywhere. And there's apples right there. They legalized marijuana, and all these farmers have changed their greenhouses from tomatoes and vegetables into, here's another one here, all into marijuana. There's another one there. Making tons of money, just tons and tons of money. Anyways, I was just down here at Kingsville, bought some more Harley parts. I just couldn't pass the deal up. I think I turn here. I bought 2 pistons, 2 cylinders, and 2 heads, valves, everything all in them still. About 10 to 15,000 kilometers on them. It's off a 2016 Street Glide, Harley Davidson. for $75. The guy wanted. There's more greenhouses there. It's fall now. It's October 1st, so you can see the pot plants right through the walls there. So all the buds are getting ripe right now, so you can really smell the TH. Anyways, I was at this guy. He sold a Street Glide and he put a big bore kit in it, and he's selling these parts for $75. I looked on eBay, and they're going for $1,500 to $1,700 US funds. So if I don't use them, I'm gonna sell them. There's some more greenhouses over there. I mean, it's everywhere. I don't know if this is Highway 3. I don't think so. Well, I was gonna finish the Norton today. That was the plan. First thing this morning, or last night. I figured, okay, I got 3 or 4 hours this morning to finish that up and get it done, and then I saw something on the internet again. Oh my God, I just can't help myself. But I got to start selling some of these bikes. This is crazy. I've never done this before. There's some more parts in the back seat, and I don't know if you can see the trailer behind me there, but that's a 1990 FLH. And the guy had the front end off it to get the forks rebuilt, and he put the forks on, never finished it. It's been sitting like that for over a year. So $3,200 for that. It's got 47,000 original kilometers on it, and it's in pretty good shape. All the tins look pretty good on it, except for the one cover on the saddlebag is pretty chipped up. But the tank and the fairing and fender, everything looks great. It says it ran great a year ago. Yeah, so I got to start getting rid of these bikes. So I think I'm going to keep this FLH and sell the FXR. But the FXR's got the good S&S breather and carburetor, and I got a suspicion that thing's got the Andrews cam at the E27 they're called. I'm going to pull that cover off. If it does, I'm going to take all that stuff off, put it on this bike, and because this bike has the stock carburetor and breather, and put it on that FXR. And that FXR will be pretty much right back to stock. Like everything on it will be pretty much stock. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. I got to get rid of the Suzuki, the Venture Royale. I might even get rid of that Seika. I don't have any, I got to find a place to put it. I can't leave it outside all winter to get surface rust on it. So that's what I'm up against. That's the project today. That one back there. Yeah, I'm just about home. Acorns dropping on the roof of my garage. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. I'm getting that Norton done. Sunday morning, I think it's around 10 o'clock. I got to get it done. And I'm procrastinating. I'm putting it off. I'm walking all around it. And I don't know why. It's so close. I just got to put the tank and put oil in it and fire it up, really. But I think it's because there's a couple things in the back of the mind that bother me. Once I put oil back in it again, it's going to sump. And I got to top up the tranny fluid. And I know that's going to leak out the side. So that's another project this winter, is to pull that cover off and machine it out and have a proper seal put in, not a stupid O-ring. And little shit like that. It's like, to me, it's not perfect. And never will be, I guess. But I got to get it done. I mean, this is insane in here. I've got 7 motorcycles now. Like, this is, I can't believe it. So yesterday I got this bike on. Today's Sunday, Saturday, Friday. I picked that bike up, and I wanted to kind of see what it needed. He just gave me a couple boxes of parts, all these parts here, and I wanted to kind of put everything back together. I got the front end all back together. This is just on loose because I got to do a little bit of wiring in there, and it's a beautiful bike, man. $3,200. That's unbelievable. I absolutely love it. This is my number one bike now. I gotta get rid of that one now. So I spent all day yesterday just kind of putting this thing back together, find out what parts I'm missing. Like I'm missing the needle in the car. I'm missing a bunch of little stuff. Not very much though. It only need about 4 things and that bike's ready. 4 little things. I'm getting this thing going today. That's my job today. Fuck it. I'm putting the oil in it, and drips out a little bit. Drips out a little bit. I'm gonna take it for a test drive. I think I've got everything. It should. Oh, the battery. That's the other thing too. The battery. I've been charging, trying to get it charging. I think the battery's done. So hopefully I can get enough of a charge in it to get a good 12 volts to fire up the boiler ignition. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay, let me get set up here. I've had no room to work in here right now. Like, this is insane. I gotta charge that battery up first thing. Let me get this charger going here. This welder out of here. I gotta get this bench cleaned off. Let's get it down to basics here. Put away. Test light I don't need anymore. Don't need the connectors. Put air in the tires yesterday. They always leak down. I think I'm gonna have to replace the tubes in them. Brand new tubes, but they're old. I used to drink this stuff called Zip Fizz energy drink. You can buy it in the States, can't buy it in Canada. And it's a little plastic tube. I used to keep the containers. I had like 1,000 of them. You pour it in your water. You gotta put the cap on right away. It just fizzes right up. And it's caffeine, vitamin B. I think there was vitamin C in it as well too. Bunch of stuff. I did that for a year. I was drinking one a day for sure, maybe 2 some days. And I think there was no sugar in it, although it tasted sweet, so probably had additives in it. And then I started getting heart palpitations. I think from the caffeine in it, and so I stopped drinking that, and I started drinking Monster drinks. And so I've been drinking Monster drinks for over a year now, probably one a day. The purple ones, I like the purple ones, really good. And told my doctor that I was drinking those things one a day. You know, I Google all this stuff before I drink any of these things. I research it as much as I can, and try to find out, you know, how harmful it is for you. And sure, if you drink, you know, 6 straight Monster drinks a day, you know, you could have a heart attack. Or it's just the caffeine, so much caffeine in it. But they sell the white Monster drink cans, Ultras I think they're called. There's no caffeine in them and no sugar. And I think all the Monster drinks don't have sugar. It's probably a sugar additive because it tastes sweet. And each of those different colors of Monster drinks represents a different, well, the different flavors, but also different quantities of caffeine. And the lower ones are around 100 milligrams, and that's a pretty big can. The green Monster drinks are 160. They're I think that's the highest in Monster drinks. And the purple ones are, I think, around 140. The orange ones are around the same, 130, 140. I was drinking them for a while too. But after, I went to my doctor when I was in there one time and asked him about those Monster drinks. And he said, hey, quit drinking those things. They're not good for you. And I said, well, how are they not good for you? You know, it's got tons of vitamin B in it, and guarana seed, and taurine is the big thing. My granddaughter said, oh, you got to quit those because of the taurine. So I Googled taurine. Well, taurine is supposed to be good for you. Good for your mental activity and brain and everything else. But my doctor's, what he said is it thickens your blood. He said that's a problem, it thickens your blood. Now, I don't know which chemical in it thickens your blood, but that kind of worried me a little bit. Let's say it thickens your blood, well then you're getting poor circulation. And you know, if you're not getting blood going to your joints and muscles and everything, maybe that's causing all my pains. It makes I ache everywhere. So I quit drinking Monster drinks almost a month ago now, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I don't really feel any different. I quit Advil too. I quit taking Advil and Tylenol. I take the odd Tylenol and maybe the odd Advil. I think in the last 4 months I've probably had 4 Advil and maybe 5 or 6 Tylenol. And I've cut those things right out too, because that's eating up your stomach and doesn't help with pain. And I feel pretty good right now, but I still ache. But anyways, what I drink now is just those vitamin C drinks and Energy C, and then I pour in a tablespoon of pure lemon juice, and trying that for a while. Anyways, let's get back on the bike here. I'm gonna have to put a shut-off valve in here on the feed line. Not today. In the transmission, I don't think there's a way to check the oil level, so you pretty much got to drain it all out and refill it again. Need a half liter more. That's good for now. Okay, so I gotta flush the tank and pour a little bit of gasoline in it, shake it around. And I think that's where I'm at next. I think I'm ready to mount the tank. Yeah, let's do that. I just topped up the tranny oil. Synthetic, I use synthetic 7590. But when I take off that side cover, I'm just putting some in it for now. I should have filmed it. I'm just not in the mood. I just took off this little tranny inspection plate cover right here. And I could see oil in there. The oil was up to the bottom of the Kickstarter shaft. So it's probably leaked out as much as it can now because it's at the bottom of that shaft. So I topped it up, probably put in 4 or 5 more ounces in there, maybe 6 ounces, 4 to 6 ounces. And when I pulled it, I just want to take over a test drive, run it, and then this one I'll have to pull this cover off, get this machined out to put a proper seal in there. That should be a seal in there, not an O-ring. And a lot of guys do that. They'll machine it out and put a proper seal in there. So I just got enough oil in it to run it for now. I got the motor oil in it. I'm going to lower it down. Now maybe I'll do it up here. Put the tank on. That way I can get at the bolts better. Yeah, let me try that. This is going to be the first time I've had the tank on. And all the matching colors. Yeah, maybe I'll do it from here. Hardest part is doing it without scratching it. My hands are oily. Good start. How's that? Got a new tank cushion here somewhere. These tank rubber mounts, the original ones were just a whole bunch of little individual rubbers, half this size. You can kind of see these are kind of split. And that's how the original ones were. You kind of stacked it and shimmed it that way. But these newer ones are solid, and I've put, well, one goes there. Put one on the top, I'm going to put one on the bottom. Like that. And then This is where the reflectors go. That should be down lower. That should be like that. That didn't seem quite right. Huh. It doesn't seem right to be on an angle like that. This was going to rub on the tank, so I moved the hole in a little bit more, and I lowered this one down a little bit, and that's what I'm going to go with. So I think I'll put a washer there. No, can't have too many washers. There. I think that's how it's going to go. I think that's going to look good. Got almost 1/4 of an inch, 3/16 of an inch clearance there. Now I'm just going to drill out and do the other one. These brackets were from a different model, and I think this is the one that I had bent, and I straightened it out and then I bent it. Maybe I didn't bend it at quite the right angle. I probably should have had it longer and shorter, but I'll just change that. Putting a lock washer. I put a lock washer in all 4 of those. Hope that battery's not getting hot. Oh, it seems all right. I got a feeling that battery's not going to have enough juice to run this thing down the road. Okay. Hook the fuel lines up. There's no clamps on these. These are in these barbs. I'm telling you, once they're in those barbs, it's really hard to get them off. Yeah, I know there's, well, let's go here. I know there's concerns about this crossover tube here near the cylinder head. If you blow a gasket, you know, the heat or fire, it's melt that, start that on fire, but this is what I'm using for right now. It's 1.5 inches or so away. Okay. I had these taps on wrong before. I thought the reserve would be on this side because the bike on the side stand sits like that, but I guess it's on the other side. Okay, I got oil. I got the gear case oil topped up. I just don't have the gas in. I'm gonna button up the other side. I'm gonna button it all up like it's ready to go. That doesn't usually work. That doesn't usually work. Okay, I gotta disconnect this battery charger here. That's how it looks like with the cordon seat on there. It's got the red pinstriping on there. I don't like that. There's a guy in town that redoes seat covers. I'm going to see if he can change this out to black or green. But let's see what the stock seat looks like. It's pretty dusty. I think that's the way she's gonna go. She's just about ready. I just got a feeling that battery's no good. I don't think it's gonna fire up with that, but let's try. This is leather conditioner. She looks damn good though. Damn good looking bike. I got no room. Got no room to get it out. part's getting the center stand up. Still gotta put some gas in it. I got a mirror for the handlebar too. Trying to remember now which way the enrichener goes. Okay, turn this down like that. Well, that's the reserve one. Do the other one. Not enough gas for the other one. Okay, so I believe let's enricher that way. Put the gas there. Gas there. Let's see if it's gonna go. Pretty sure it's got to be open furthest. The enrichener's down like that. Let's see if I got enough spark.